Welcome to a new edition of Fourth and Pain, the only football and pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player with the weight loss champion. With me, as always, Redskins defensive end and former Cornhusker Adam Carriker.
Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's at the end of Jabroni Drive at the SmackDown Hotel.
I like it. Continuing the Rock Week here on Fourth and Pain, entertaining you only the way that we can. Be sure to give the show a follow at Fourth and Pain on Twitter. And Adam, this is a huge, ginormous interview for us. This is one that I'm sure that you've been looking forward to for some time, and I'm sure that all of your Nebraska fans are going to eat this one up because who we have on the line is the greatest player in Nebraska history, Mr. Tommie Frazier. How are you, Tommy?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing good. Appreciate you joining us. We want to talk a little bit about your career, get some of your fondest memories, playing for Tom Osborne, and then we want to get your take on current modern-day Husker football, obviously the quarterback situation, since that's what you were back in your playing days. So tell me, I'm curious, what brings the guy from Bradenton, Florida, up to Lincoln, Nebraska? What made you choose Nebraska to begin with?
Well, I think it's just a family environment. You know, Kevin Steele was the guy who recruited me, and when going through the whole recruiting process, he was the one coach that never sold the hopes that I can come in and start right away, or never told me that I was going to redshirt my first year. You know, he basically told me that I have the opportunity to come in and make an impact early, but it's going to depend on how fast I grasp the offense and get used to being away from home. And then knowing that Coach Osborne there and just his history and the things that he did over the years, you know, it was a no-brainer for me.
Now, I had the opportunity to meet Coach Osborne, and I've talked to him on a couple of brief, short occasions. So I don't know much about him other than what I've heard, what I've seen, and his stupendous reputation. What was it like to be able to play for that man for your entire career?
Well, it's one of those guys that you give your left nut for, you know. And I don't know if I can say that on your show, but I just did.
You can.
Well, good. Well, he truly was a father figure to everyone, and no matter what you did something wrong or did something right, he was always there to support you and guide you. And once you live your life the right way, it wasn't always about football with him. It was about he looked at you as a person first.
I want to talk to you because I grew up a Husker fan, man. Our week was either awesome or horrible based on whether the Huskers lost, and that's the reason I went to Nebraska. I want to talk to you about three games. The 93 Orange Bowl when you played against Florida State and Charlie Ward. Talk to me about what that game was like. You guys were 16-point underdogs, almost won the game, just barely lost on a field goal. What was it like playing against Charlie Ward and the Seminoles on that day?
Oh, that was a great game, you know, and keep in mind that we had played against Charlie Ward and the Seminoles the year before and lost to them.
That's right, yeah.
About 13 points, I think it was, and have an opportunity to get back to that game and play for the championship, and to go out there and show people that we were a lot better team that they were giving the credit for. You know, it gave us motivation, and we went out there and we had a chance to win it, and we didn't. But at the end of the game, you know, you kept hearing people said, you know, we won the game. We didn't win on the scoreboard, but we did win that game, and to go down and do something like that was very special for not only for us, but I think we gave Nebraska fans a lot of pride and confidence that Nebraska program was back.
I would absolutely agree with that. I remember watching that game. I remember leaving my friend's house, and I remember we were two things. We were absolutely furious, but we were absolutely full of pride because you guys had played so hard. Now, I'm curious, the next year, this is when I officially became a Tommie Frazier fan. You got a blood clot. You missed a major portion of that year, and you came back, and you and Brooke Behringer went back and forth in that game, but you took the team down on the lead, the drive to win the game 24-17 against the Hurricanes. Talk about missing most of that year with the blood clot and coming back and playing.
Well, it was tough because it was one of those years that I never missed any football before in my life, and let alone miss that many games. And, you know, there was a lot of times I got depressed during the season, but once again, Coach Osborne was there and basically told me, Tom, you need to be around the football team to keep your mind right. And I started going back around the football team, and then to have an opportunity to come back and help the team win the championship, it says a lot. And it says a lot about what Coach Osborne thought of my ability to go out there and lead the program when the game didn't look like it was going in the right direction.
1995, is that the greatest Husker football team in history?
I think it is, and you know I'm biased. You know, I wasn't around when Johnny Rodgers and Rich Glover won in 70-71, so I can't comment on those guys. But just what I do know in the time that I've been around, I don't think there's many teams out there that can truly beat that 95 team consistently.
What made that team so great? Well, I mean, I think the closest game you had was a 21-point win over highly ranked Colorado that year. You beat Florida 62-24. You have the play where you break, I swear it was like 10 tackles, ran for an 80-yard touchdown. What made that team so great?
I think all the pieces of the puzzle were in place. We were 2 and 3 deep at each position, even at quarterback, to where something that happened to me. Brooke was there, and even Matt Turman had the ability to go out there and play well. I just think that we just had a swagger about it. We had that confidence that we were the best team, and the only way we're going to lose the game is that we beat ourselves, and we didn't do that. And because we want to go out and show people that this program was for real, and we're going to stay for a while.
Speaking with Tommie Frazier here, ranked number 33 on collegefootball.com's greatest 100 players of all time. Tommie, I'm looking over your career highlights, your awards. I mean, it's a rap sheet that's just a mile long. Of all of the awards you got, 2 Orange Bowl MVPs, the Unitas Golden Arm Award, of course, the Fiesta Bowl MVP. Which award is most meaningful to you?
Well, didn't look at my career as going out there trying to win awards. So all of them are very special. But the one thing that I am most proud of is I was able to graduate from the University of Nebraska. I was the first one of 6 kids to walk down and grab a diploma. And that means more to me than any football award that I ever received.
Speaking with Tommie Frazier here on Fourth and Pain with fellow Cornhusker Adam Carriker and me, Chuck Carroll. Be sure to give the show a follow at Fourth and Pain, and be sure to check out Tommie on Tommie's X's and O's, the good, the bad, the ugly, every week of the Nebraska game, TommieFrazier.com, and on YouTube at Tommie's X's and O's. Let's talk a little modern day Nebraska. Of course, this past week, trounced Purdue. This game wasn't even close, 44-7. Tommie, what have you seen out of the Huskers so far this year?
Well, I've seen a roller coaster ride. I've seen them go out there and play well at some games and then haven't played well. Yesterday was a good opportunity for them to go out there and get things rolling. And they went out there and did. They went out and did just that. I know the fans are excited about it, but when you're playing a team like Purdue, you're supposed to dominate. You're supposed to dominate a team like that. So I was happy to see them go out there and improve and show the things that they worked on really works.
The 3 or 4 games that Tommy Armstrong has started this year, what have you seen out of him? The good and the bad and the ugly, if you will.
Well, I've seen a lot of good things from him. Just his poise, the way he throws the football, the way he manages the game. That's something that you just don't see in a young quarterback. There's some things that he needs to work on as far as learning how to read defense better, learn how to make the right checks. But you got to realize that was just a second game. He's going to start 2 games, so you're going to find mistakes made by young guys. You just hope that you have enough players around him that can help him and cover up some of the mistakes that he makes.
Now I'm curious about Taylor Martinez. He holds a bunch of Nebraska stats records, the statistics here in Nebraska. But his career is kind of up and down. I would say it's the same thing in the eyes of the fans, kind of up and down. What's your take on his career and Taylor Martinez from this season going forward?
Well, it's been up and down. Sometimes he plays well and sometimes he doesn't. And I think the key to his game is that if he can't run the ball effectively, then his rest of his game is going to suffer. And hopefully that he can come back from this toe injury and be the same Taylor Martinez that we saw his freshman year and part of his sophomore year. And if he can't be that guy, then it's going to be tough for him. When
Taylor Martinez is healthy, whenever that is, a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, who would you start if you had your coaching hat on, Taylor Martinez or Tommy Armstrong?
Well, if he's healthy, then of course Taylor should start because he earned it during the season. He didn't do anything to lose it. But if he's not playing 2 weeks and the guys that are playing go out there and running the offense, and they're still been productive, and the Nebraska wins it, you have to look at it and say which guy's going to give us the best chance to win the game right now, not which guy's going to give us the best season. And it's going to be a tough situation as long as they keep winning with the guys that are playing. It's hard, and Adam, it's hard to interrupt something that's going well. And because if you do put Taylor back in there and things start going downhill, then it's like you make the wrong decision. It's a good thing to have, but being a coach, you have to make the right decision for the team and not the player.
Tommie Frazier on Fourth and Pain. Unfortunately, we're kind of running out of time here, and this is customary on the show, Tommie. The last question always belongs to the guest, and we kind of turn the tables on Adam a little bit. So if there's anything under the sun, football, life, whatever, now is certainly the time to ask Adam whatever you would like.
I got a question. What do you think of Bo Pelini?
I love Bo Pelini. I had the chance to play for him for a year. He's a fiery coach. Players love him. He is a player's coach. I remember when he got fired, when Callahan came in, they fired everybody. The players got together and had a goodbye dinner for him. I've never seen that for any other coach. I think where we are right now is where we were right before you got to Nebraska. I think when we played Miami in the Orange Bowl, we would lose 22-0. Florida State would beat us by a couple of touchdowns, and then right on that cusp, Georgia Tech beats us in the Citrus Bowl by a pretty good margin. But then when you guys got there, 93, 94, 95, that's when that turn made to being a national power. I feel like we're right there. We're 9-4, 10-3 every year, but we get embarrassed a couple times a year. But I think we can get that turned around with this young team that's so loaded in talent moving forward. I think the future is bright.
There you go. Tommie Frazier, Adam Carriker talking Cornhusker football. Guys, I wish we had a lot more time, but unfortunately, we got to take this one home. Tommy, greatly appreciate you coming on the show.
Appreciate it. Thank
you.
It's
my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
That's Tommie Frazier. This is Fourth and Pain. Time for your Fourth and Pain. Did you know that Fourth and Pain fans have spent nearly 1 million minutes watching us on YouTube? That's 16,666 hours, 694 days, almost 2 years of straight watching nothing but Fourth and Pain on YouTube.